After the overnight success of the last team forming video bagging me another, I'm told, genuine Harley Davidson, we're back for another mesh sesh, where we'll try to form a brand new KOF 14 team and neatly snug them into the current plot of the story. So with reference in hand, let's embark on our quest. However, unlike last time, we won't be starting with our core character initially, but rather we'll be working backwards, beginning with the teammates first, then continuing with a subsequent justification of their presence in place in the plot, or plur for short. This is to be done not before introducing each one individually with some snazzy music afterwards, like so. Sorry, I forgot to say for example before that. I don't know who you are, but you must be some kind of superstar. Let you go dumb, then go more dumb, then we can keep it lit, let's roll. Let's roll. It's only humane of me to do a form team for 14 video that includes Fatal Fury's Fair Maiden and resident secret agent of the KOF series. And as a man who executes fairness to the T, let's get right to it, shall we? You probably think by now Blue Mary wouldn't miss the annual Battle of the Best after attending a dozen or so that turned out to be a cover-up of a sinister ploy to wipe mankind off the face of the earth, standard megalomaniacal stuff, though it can be assumed that Mary by now more than understands the negative potentials of KOF. After all, we all know how much trouble these wealthy asses can cause if left unchecked. Wagons full of cash, yet no bodyguards or bulletproof/beam-proof glass to protect them. They must think we were born yesterday, shows the bloody doomsday codes already. Other reasons outside of following duties, or at the very least honouring a request from a friend, are hard to come by because we can't see any plausible reason Mary would enter herself into the tournament, as she doesn't exactly seem the type to ponder the meaning of battle for too long, or say it to herself a dozen of times like a simpleton. Thus we can therefore only ask politely that our would-be hiring body, preferably with good intentions this time around, will give us some damn infiltration orders, to which we're sure this will be enough to assure Miss Ryan's inclusion in 14, allowing her as always to snuff out those inevitable evils lurking beyond the glitz and glam. How lovely. And with that, it's time for teammate number 2.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
Just get ready for work. You see me happy work. You see me do me dirt. So me better work.
As a firm believer in the WWRD principle, Vanessa, let's put you to work. I know where I'm going with this, but I'm going to keep talking, feigning ignorance. Digressing, we move on to the lovely Vanessa, donning her lightning quick punches and hair stayed in the blood of cheeky bees who are wanting to be starting something. Got to be starting something. Yet another Iron Maiden who's been out of the limelight for some time, due to her primary occupation that usually requires her to remain in the shadows. You were just discussing somebody a little while ago into a similar line of work, oh don't say it. Yep, you guessed it, Vanessa just happens to be an agent herself. 2 bars so far now. But not only that, there's more. She's even worked alongside Blue Mary a few times, so it can be assumed that their partnership is prevailing. Give me my damn golden Tauruses. This red and gold duo began in King of Fighters 11 and will continue all the way to 13, where they were both part of the struggle to thwart the usual miscreants who will try to cut the perpetual time out of a certain delinquent deity. And though they're not exactly the ones who ultimately saved the day, they definitely get points for their brave contributions. Or maybe it's anybody who would have snooped around a human grappler and one bar. But to be fair to my hateful posse, it can be said that she never had the deepest connection to the storyline, to which then I begin to shamelessly pander to the lovers, saying just as long as she's included, and you can create a quarter of a reason for her present, then that's good enough for us too. So following that hollow ovation, the result in front of us is 2 luscious mercenaries back in the fray. But wait, 2's not enough, we gotta move to the last person. But before that, maybe you detected the purpose of starting with Mary as she had affiliates that could have led us down the Fatal Fury, Garrow or Agents route, which is the route we ended up taking in the end, though unfortunately, journeying down said route will bring about an unforeseen calamity, a spanner of death if you will, thrown into everything we've worked so hard for, and by none other than this heather over here. If it said gingers have no souls, it's probably because reds took them. Anyway, we've got the tape here, which will display the encounter turmoil we speak of. Play it. So just play it already. With reverence as well, we have to maintain our integrity above all. As you can see from this segment of the women's team's ending, Vanessa has single-handedly ruined any potential of her, and Mary for that matter, being included in this tournament. However, I was convinced the blunder did not render all lost, and thus I diligently continued my quest, and came to an alternate solution which entails that they be a sole investigative unit, rather than an entrant to the tournament. or would meet teams outside of official matches. A little shoddy, but the only way we can seemingly fit them in after such a monumental blunder. Way to go for mess everything up. I'll let bygones be bygones reluctantly, so we can get to member number 3 already, who must be more than clear by now, right? That platinum hair, pristine mustache, dairy milk exterior. Just my list of unincluded attributes. And now we come to our team's linchpin, as she's actually involved in the 14 story, having been assigned her own individual mission to solicit K-Dash's group's assistance in the Akari affairs. An assignment it appears she alone has the highest chance of pulling off due to her relationship with the bunch. As it's possible she could run into trouble, it's not implausible she might decide the assistance of a small capable group to accompany her. A little insurance should the worst happen. Also, because of the subject of her request, it might be met with a little hostility by a certain hot-headed individual. These fighting folk do tend to reason with their fists and chi energy, before stooping down to more archaic means such as words of all things. So in K-Dash's defense, he's had his ups and downs with the Akaris, being on the run from them since Nest times. Anyone could therefore understand how his cooperation could require some physical persuasion. As such, we can justify her forming a team with our current 2 spyettes, who've worked with Hikari Commander Hayden in the past, making it probable they've both met Whip before and have no problem assisting her on her mission, and ultimately being that extra factor that assures the world's safety. And the jigsaw is, wait, what about Seth? He deserves the spot. He's supposed to be there. Agents, he's the captain. You're a prick for not putting him in. Play the other tape. Now before I was rudely interrupted by myself, Jigsaw's Dizzle. Hi there's Angels, let's get moving. Well, we just about pulled that off and I'm absolutely exhausted and have to go. Next time we're doing the characters left out video part 2. I've got 8 so far, but let me know if there's any others you want to see in that video and I'll change the list accordingly. Expect that next week. For now I've been Move and you've been a viewer. That ends for now. Hopefully I'll see you later.